Vamos con mucho chile and grit.
Nada ganas con decir que tú ya no me quieres. Si te noto en los ojos, mi amor, hay que por mi...
Welcome to the Compton Weekly Community Editorial with your host and rabble-rouser, the man who puts the action in plan, your revolutionary, your Black Panther leader!
Tacos con mucho chile
And grit. This is a special report, and basically, people, we are a sponsored, public-sponsored community radio station and media center. So please help with a much-needed donation to keep us public and uncompromised as KTNG860 AM, American Militants on the digital dial. And now the editorial. This is a special editorial because of recent events, and therefore we have to let the general public know exactly what the hell went on. So therefore, I know many of you have come out here and enjoyed this festival that's going on, so we're going to basically wrap this all up for you. In recent weeks, leading up to the citywide celebrations of Mexican Independence Day, certain known factors in truth have availed themselves and have proven that your Compton City Council is rife with conspiracy and simple greed.
and racism.
Fact. In a council meeting, it is recorded that the weasel, Dr. Johns, took it upon himself to publicly announce that, quote unquote, it would be a wonderful thing to let the Latino constituency have a cultural and public day of celebration, unquote. Like it was done in some favor out of a God complex. Did Dr. Johns make this apparent to not only continue building a legacy of false premise upon the ignorance of the Latino community, but as a black man, not even Don King would stoop so low. With even stranger bedfellows, as the Lady of Victory's head priest, Father 50-50, this King Midas and pawn of the cartels endorsed, yes, black people, signified for the church to keep Dr. Johns in power over a district that is no longer filled with his Kelly Park Crip Foundation. Since their eradication, the two have done more than simply rig the voting. They've stepped further into sheer arrogance of it and damned the responsibility of said power. Fact, when the president of the Latino Chamber of Commerce in Compton, Maria Villareal, had worked diligently for works on end to sponsor a quote-unquote Mexican Independence Day celebration of her own, it would be up to the disingenuine fact that a supreme level of conspiracy has been in the works since PTFB, Pudgy the Fat Bastard Carlos Acevedo, has been trying to uproot Maria as president of the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Compton. As Maria went about the task to organize and seek the necessary documents to host the Mexican Independence Day, in which we are all celebrating out here in this park, the celebration in Kelly Park, she was asked by Patricia, who works for the city office, quote unquote, why are you calling your event that? The connotations were nothing shy of racist within conversation ensued, leaving Maria in tears and disgust. It would be, as scheduled, that a meeting with the city manager would have to take in place. For what? To have on record how racist city council is toward the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Compton against Maria Villareal? Fact. At that very same meeting, KTNG was there and on time for a 10 a.m. meeting with Harold Duffy, only to wait a full 40 minutes, which is recorded, until he had time to assemble a goon squad of quote-unquote whitewashing carpetbaggers to impose makeshift sanctions against Maria's event name because Dr. John circumvented his stature to naming the event only a week before and at the last minute. Fact. During the conversation and throughout the meeting, Dr. Penn, the assistant to the city manager and 6 other pig pitchers sought to use small business regulations against a non-profit, nickeling and diming as they went, because Maria's event would have meant that the city would have made no money on the entire deal and Dr. John's empty of his Harold glory. Throughout the hour and 10-minute negotiation of concessions, it was an act of political coercion for her to change the name of the event for their records so Dr. John's could have the credit for the name of the event. What these hypocritical sellouts proved was that supplication is far better than losing face in the eye of the public, which would mean a proverbial black eye to Dr. John's legacy of lies, voter manipulation, and conspiracy. Not to mention that stranger bedfellows like Father 5050 of Our Lady of Victory makes primary use of that level of coonery to keep him in power. Time to cut the strings of the puppet masters.
Now, here's the thing. What's the connection between Councilman Jones and Father Baldovino, whatever his name is, Francisco Baldovino, also known as Father 5050? What is the connection with the Fiestas Patrias, Mexican Independence Day, and the obstacles that they put Maria by the city council or the bureaucrats at the city hall? Could you explain, please?
Could I explain? Well, dear public, it's quite simple. They systematically wanted to make sure that the park made money. Their connection is quite simple. It's all about keeping the district in that voting system. Remember, back a couple of months ago, Lim Boom brought out the allegations that there was voter fraud throughout the entire council, and Dr. Johns again stood silent. He stood silent. Father 5050 on the other hand, and
well, he always stays silent anyway, even if he's guilty. But he always stays silent.
He always stays silent, even if he's guilty, because he won't admit or say on oath or on record, of his misdeeds, his manipulations, But then again, he's nothing more than a step-and-fetch Negro.
Dr. Oz.
Oh man.
The Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah. Pay no attention to the man behind the green curtain.
Amen.
But see, therein lies the problem. How does he get manipulated by a priest when there's a clear violation of church and state?
And by the way, I don't know why the hell I'm calling him doctor, because he never did answer whether he's a doctor, medical doctor, a PhD, or instead a crackerjack honorary doctor's degree. When I asked him, he never responded. So as far as I'm concerned, I think he's a crackerjack out of a crackerjack box, PhD.
Hell yeah.
Because I could be a PhD for, hey.
Yeah, I could be a PhD too.
Yeah.
That's right. A doctor of shaking your ass. Straight up.
Oh, yeah.
And believe me, black people have been shaking their asses all through that city council.
Have you been to East LA?
Oh, man, are you kidding? Holmes, I love it. Only place where you can see someone on a 10-speed bike right up the street, man, with a 40. Only place where you can see a Michi come down the street and you think as a kid.
You ain't got a monopoly on that, cabron.
Only place where you can see with all the people, especially the lady at the truck stop, at the taco stand, man. She moved. Man. She moved.
Did you hear that? Did you see that?
She moved the chair, man.
Did you see it? Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was messed up.
Oh, man.
That was messed up.
See, I gave her the chair. I was sitting right next to her. I gave her the chair, and when I gave her the chair, she pulled a chair away from you know what kind of reminded me of?
Oh.
Remember that movie with Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Education. I forgot the name of the movie. But he was in the elevator.
Yeah.
There was a white woman with a purse, and when there was only two in the elevator, she grabbed her purse real tight. Well, that's what happened to you, cabrón. Well, she pulled a chair, you know. I mean,
she pulled a Wet Willie on me.
Yeah, and she put a.
Oh no! Oh, jeez. People, if y'all could see this, it's so God. But back to the matter at hand, man. It's simple. They are trying. It's like everybody's been trying all the way down to Hollingfield. You know, we have. I really need a sign that says Compton.
Leave him alone, man.
Okay, all right, look.
Leave him alone.
Him and all those fools, all those bozos have all been trying to unseat Maria out of that presidency for the Latino Chamber of Commerce. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. They are, because she has a lot of connections. She's worked on a lot of connections, and she's getting an award for working with the youth in the city. You know, something the city council will not give her props for, except for, like, you know, today when we went down, when there was a special meeting about, you know, the high-powered guns and so forth on the school grounds. But the thing is that, you know, she's not getting credit where credit is due.
Well, let me tell you something. And I want the public to know. And I want our adversaries of the Latino Chamber of Commerce, those are trying to overthrow Maria. Well, we got news for you. Tacos and grits. If Maria's gonna go down, we're gonna go down, because we're gonna go down fighting. You know, and you want Maria, you have to come over us first.
That's right. We got bigger, badder guns, and I know we can take you.
So we're Maria's loyalists. You know, and you want Maria, you have to come for us first. I just want you to know, everybody out there who wants a piece of Maria, you have to want a piece of us first.
That's right. Believe me, I wear a size 12 and a half, and I am not afraid to give a patada en el culo.
Hey, I might be old, but I can still throw chingazos.
I'm bringing my cane with me so that way I can swing straight up. But you know something? What the people here at City Hall don't realize is that, we're independent press. We are black and brown owned. We are beholden to nobody. And that means, well, no matter where we step to, no matter where we step at, trust me, we are gathering the story. As a matter of fact, we're going to take some sections out of this thing, and we're going to roll tape, and we're going to let you decide on how the whole thing went down, on why we had to change the name on paper, so this way the Mexican Independence Day could go on at Kelly Park the way it's supposed to.
But here's the thing. See, two things. Don't let the Latino Chamber of Commerce name fool you.
No.
Because in the Latino Chamber of Commerce, we have black and brown members. So you black business owners and Latino business owners, we are one and the same. We have the same goals,
right on,
and the same the same ambitions,
right on.
To bring our community up,
right on.
So we don't take sides one way. It's not a black thing. It's not a brown thing.
Right on.
It's a unity thing. And,
right on.
And I say Compton has the ability and to prospect like never before. Only if we do it. And another thing.
Right on.
Another thing is that we are here to serve you, the community. What the main media does not inform you,
right on,
of community news.
Right on.
We try our best. We're not perfect, but you give us the news, we'll let it out. Because this is your radio station.
Right on.
And we are not beholden to no one.
Right on.
The only people we are beholden to is you, the radio listener. We might not be the big media conglomerate, but I'll tell you one thing. We try to bring you the truth, and we try to bring you the news that affects you and concerns you, the people, the listening audience.
Right on. So what are the 3 things that we try to do on this station?
Well, our goal to do in this station is only 3 things. We try to inform you. We try to educate you. And most of all, we try to raise your consciousness. However, we don't want you to agree with us. We want you to think for yourself.
Right on.
You know, we're not here to tell you this is the way it is. No. We expect you to challenge us when we need to be challenged. If you think that we are wrong, please let us know. Because the thing about it is that this is what it's all about. We have to agree to disagree. And if we can do one of those 3 things, inform, educate, and raise your consciousness, one of those 3, we've done our job. That's all we're concerned.
In that case, my good man, I think we need to roll tape, because obviously that meeting that we was at got recorded. Roll tape.
Maestro? Hey.
Bam!
Go for it, Maestro.
Hey.
The city manager's office chairs the meetings, and so we coordinated that. When I again heard that the Latino Chamber of Commerce that we've been working with for the last couple of months, putting on soccer events, when I discovered, sure, I'll take responsibility for that because I signed the original application. I thought it was for a soccer event, and a soccer event only. When I discovered that it was not, that it was going to be an event that was not only soccer, but it was going to be a Latino heritage celebration. It was going to be beyond the scope of what I originally approved. Then I immediately said, well, this has to arise to an event that needs to go through this special events committee, because we need to get a grasp on it. Because the application reads, when I signed it, I said, oh, this is another soccer event. So let's go ahead and do that on a Sunday, and it requires some staffing because a number of people that want to be involved, and we wanted to make those. I know the soccer has been successful, very successful, and we want to make sure that continues to go. So with that background, Mr. Montgomery.
Actually, at that time we have representation, and it's not an open meeting, it's an internal meeting. Whenever we become aware of events that require special events coordination, we invite the organizers to that meeting. And that way, all of the people who are involved from the city side, let's set that time aside on their calendars to be available to meet in one place with the people who are organizing the event. And that way you're not having to run to this department, to that department, and this department says, okay, you're done with that, now you need to go there, now you need to go here. We all are able to discuss here issues, concerns, get agreement on what we're doing, and then proceed from that point. I am the city manager's representative at this meeting, and we've developed it specifically to make it easier to coordinate events. We became aware kind of late in the process, because you're planning an event for this weekend, it sounds like. And I know that you had submitted a request. I'm saying we, the broader group, became aware kind of late in the process, and we didn't think we could wait until Thursday to ask you to come in, because your event is this weekend. But we wanted to talk about the event, find out what the expectations are, because it goes a little bit beyond the scope of what you might have expected for your normal soccer scheduling. It's an event that has some implications in terms of public safety, just a number of different things. So we want to talk about that. If you could tell us exactly what you have in mind. We have the departments represented here, pretty much. General Services, I'm hoping is on the way now. I've just sent them a note asking if they can come, because the General Services Department becomes involved too when we have larger events in our facilities and our parks, as you know. So if you could just tell us what you have in mind. We have an application here that just says Mexican independence, 500 guests, but we're not sure exactly what is entailed.
When did you find out about this event? Just this week?
When did the city find out about it? I think the city found out about it probably close to when you did this application, July 29th, right? Okay. What I'm saying is the broader group was not aware. I think your staff was treating it and looking at it as your regular soccer reservation.
Because there was no other indication that you were trying to do anything other than soccer, because you had submitted soccer. You had this spring on Sundays just for soccer.
Okay.
So you gave us no other. You wanted to use as application said just that.
So that's not a criticism of your organization. Right. That's not a criticism of you. I'm just saying that we in the conversation are late to the process. But we're just trying to figure out exactly what you're trying to do.
Okay. So either or has something, combined with the soccer. And the reason I submitted the application on prior, a couple months prior, is because I want to make sure that we have that date saved. So I filed the application, and it took a month to approve it. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to move forward once the situation is. We don't have no time to this, okay? So this is the final, Marisol. This is right. This is the finals. This Sunday is the finals. We're gonna provide a trophy to the players, and then in the process that we were putting that together, why I submitted the application. Remember, that's only to save the date, because since you have other events, I want to make sure I have the 14th on the calendar. Prior to that process, we had the tournament, right? Every Sunday. Okay. So we came up with the idea, let's celebrate September 6th and celebrate, have an event. We're not looking at having an event like East LA, like Hind Park, we don't have the budget for that. So we decided, okay, we can bring some music, we can bring some vendors, and have a day, an event, and combine with the soccer, and that's, that's it. That's basically what we're not looking at. We don't have a budget again. We don't have the money to pay extra. We pay just the fee for the park and the fee for the stuff, and that's it.
Okay. So the soccer event, I want to get a sense of that. So it's the finals for it.
Yes.
You're expecting how many people?
Well, we just put there 500, but I don't think it's... How many teams we have? 150 people. 150 people.
Okay, how many teams?
¿Cuántos teams? ¿Cuántos grupos?
Equipos.
That's
20 teams.
En cantidad, ¿cuántos somos? ¿150?
Para 150 people, yes. It's all day. They come in, they start early, and then they leave and play, so that, and then again, this Sunday is the finals, that's where we're going to present the trophy.
Okay.
To the winners.
And what do you choose?
¿Cuáles son las edades? Son de 5 años a 17. 5 to 17.
Oh, thank you. 5 to 17.
And at any given time, how many are there? 150 at any given time? Or 50 or 60?
I don't think it's 150, because again, they come in and go. So they're not congregated at one time. They start playing, they come in and play three groups, three teams, and then they leave, and then another come in, and start playing, and then they leave. So, it's
so maybe about 50 players at one time, and the audience?
Como 50 jugadores en one, al mismo tiempo, ¿verdad? Más o menos.
They rotate.
Yeah.
But at any given time, any given moment, think of the hour of maybe 11 o'clock, let's say 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, there may be, at that one given time, 50 players and 50 spectators?
Well, we have, if I have a son that's playing in the team,
right.
I'm going to bring my brother, my cousin,
right.
So, they watching, the kids play, and they there. At the same time, they're enjoying the music, and that's what we plan, At this particular Sunday, are participating and no charge. You know, so that.
Okay, so it's an event you're going to have. It's soccer finals, and then you'll have vendors there as part of that. Okay, the celebration afterwards at the end of the event. Okay. And what times are you talking?
The time is from 10 to 6. We're looking at, ¿a qué hora vamos a dar los tres trofeos? Como a las 12. Pero si no acaban de jugar todos. No son para todos, son para los más chiquitos. Son aparte no. Okay, not todos. Maybe by 1 o'clock we're going to be doing the trophy, como a la 1. Más o menos. The
Presentation of trophy.
Yes, thank you.
Awards.
Thank you. Awards, the trophy awards. For the later one.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
She was going over the time frame, and which they'll have a presentation of the awards around 12 noon.
12 to 1.
12 to 1.
And again, you know, I don't have the program because we don't know what, you know, everything is on the air, you know, we don't know, but it's just basically, you know, I got the one-day special event license, and then, you know, I got that, and I thought it was, you know, that was all the requirements.
So you got the business license for special event?
Yes.
Already? Okay. That's one of the...
Yes, and then today I got to get back to the health department, you know, if we're going to have at least one booth for drinks and food.
Oh, your advanced grabbing those. Okay, so you talked about, so you got the business license already, because what we're talking about is what will be required ultimately for the permit. So there are no street closures involved, right?
This is the business license. This one.
Okay.
And that's and I submitted this package. I submitted this to at the beginning we were thinking about having a tent for the food. But since, you know, I found out that it was a cost and all that, so we eliminated all the costs.
But
So there
as
will
long
be
as if
definitely...
you're under 400 square feet, we don't charge for it. So the easy ups that you buy at the sporting goods store or Walmart that are 10 feet by 10 or 12 by 12, those are
For
okay.
the food, because, you know, we have to...
You can do
Right,
that.
for the shade.
Because then the health department's going to require...
Yes.
As long as it's not over 40.
Square feet.
well,
So that would be 20 feet by 20 feet.
Yeah, 20 by 20.
Right, but the ones that are typically sold to the public, they're 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. We won't charge for those.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you, Chief.
All righty.
Thank you.
No time.
Let me make a suggestion. It'll save us some time and you some time also. I know we all want to celebrate Mexican Heritage Month, and we welcome that in the city to do that.
Thank you.
I would suggest that we can better coordinate it if you change the date to a later for the heritage part to the end of the month. We can do that and stick with the soccer and the soccer celebration. That's easier for us. That's better for us. And I think for the general, if you want to move forward, move forward. That would, again, it's going to seem like it's going to require a lot more resources than you have right now to do it with. And to give you some more time to get those resources is going to be required. So if we say we're going to move forward with the soccer, and we'll try and make that the best soccer celebration that we can, as we've done in the past, and try and set a date in the future for this event. I would ask you to consider that.
It's a flyer, you know, and we have the radio stations involved, and they're ready to do a live interview. And, you know, we have, they just, you know, community is just happy to see that something is happening. It's not
And we are too.
It's this, you know, and I'll be more than happy to do that. But I have to talk to the other members and see what.
I would like to say this, that my brother and I, you know, we already, in our radio station, KTNG, we already put PSAs weeks prior. And we all already invited our listeners to attend. And it would not look good.
Let's have another one. Let's plan another one.
You know, it won't look good in our community. And we won't look good either because time frame. So I'm sorry, you know, and I can say for all of us, you know, we already have the date set.
Okay. And you've got the resources to pull it off. That's what I'm trying to get at.
The resources that we have a few vendors. You know, we have vendors like for the state program that the community have for, you know, the free telephone the state is providing. Those kind of resources we have to be invited to come and be part of it. It's, again, this is a celebration for the community, and I wish I had talked to you before. We can plan, you know, but you know, it just was something that it came to my mind to make it like that, you know, not a big event, just a regular Sunday, a regular celebration, and just something for the community. They have, you know, music for the parents, for people who are watching the kids playing, you know. But I mean, I'm open for planning and you know, any event, you know. I mean, especially the Latino heritage events, you know. I would like to get involved and work, you know, in a positive way to move forward the city and the community.
It's like somebody wants to give a lavish wedding, and somebody wants to give just Justice of the Peace wedding. Well, that's what we're giving, Justice of the Peace wedding. You know, it's just a little small thing. You know, nothing fancy.
Here's a concern from the park and recreation standpoint. We could move forward from what we've been dealing with for the last couple of months, having good events, soccer events. If you wanted to add the part that gives us cause is the 500 number,
right,
and the vendors. If we could just stick with the soccer and celebrate in that way, and put some tables up and maybe have one or two vendors and keep it low and still have a celebration. I think I would have a lot more of a comfort level in making that happen. If you're not going to have over 150 people at one time, half of them playing soccer and half of them spectating, that's a normal activity for Park and Rec.
Yes, there would be
we can move forward with that.
It's a booth. So maybe 3 or 4 booths, and then, you know, work on the pop plan and make some changes there and make it real simple.
Aesthetic changes would probably be a little bit easier.
Can we still have the DJ, the music?
Amplified music?
You can have amplified sound. You know, we do have an ordinance where the amplified sound has to be turned off. Is that 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock? But her event is over.
It's actually Sunday. Everything changes as relates to Sunday.
Sunday's a down day.
Sunday's a down day. It's amplified sound. That's a quiet day.
The only requirement is that your DJ has to have a business license as well. But since your event is over at 6, I don't think that would run into a problem with amplified sound.
Well, he's saying Sunday is a quiet day.
Oh, it's a quiet day.
So you're not going to have it at all. With the noise ordinance.
Okay.
But so it's a special permit, right?
Right.
Okay.
For the amplified sound.
Where did she go to get that, Carl?
She starts in the clerk's office and works her way up to the manager's office.
Okay.
So it will be submitted to the clerk.
So it's a request from her. So is it just a form in the clerk's office? Okay. So we
Yeah.
Yeah, so what if I just have, well, still, you know, the music was going to be 8 hours. What if I just have you know, once we do the trophy, then we can open up with the meaning of the September 6th celebration and the Compton passion. The girls are going to be there doing, you know, talking about that, and then after After there will be the trophy presentation, and then after there will be a group of students from TV Elementary School and other schools in Compton. They're going to dance folkloric dance. And that's it. You know, so we put on the flyer mariachi food and all this, you know, but it's costing us, you know, and we don't have the money, so.
Where are they going to dance? There's some stage.
Whatever.
Basketball court? Just make it on the basketball. So you'll work it out so that you can.
They will eliminate the stage.
In other words, we improvise.
Stage.
Yes.
Okay, that's right.
Very good. We improvise, adjust, and adapt.
So the issue is that if you change the event so that general services isn't having to be there,
Right.
that you're going to contain it,
We'll make it happen, yes.
and that Parks is going to restore it, restore the building to because otherwise general services gets
Yeah,
it on.
he jumps down my neck.
They get it on Monday, and he's going to send you a bill for it.
Yeah, save costs a little bit.
So it's restoring the building. So if you guys can work it through so that you're able to work within, you know what the cost drivers are. It's the number of people, which gets to the security issue. It's things that require fire department inspection, like the big tent, like the stage, the food vendors. You know, they need to have the health department clearance for that. So that's going to be a step for you, not a big cost factor, but a step for you is getting health department approval for any food vendors that you have, and then business licenses for the vendors. You've already done your business license for the event. So, like I said, those are the drivers. It's the cost of general services. It's the security staffing.
Okay. I don't want to sound negative, you know, but we have to have a plan B. So what's going to happen with the kids if we don't get a permit? What's going to happen with the soccer? With the tournament?
We'll work that out.
The soccer.
That's easy because you've been doing that the whole time, which is why we arrived at this.
You don't need any of the rest of us in the conversation. Okay, that's a conversation between you and Parks.
Right. So soccer is fine.
That's easy. Okay. So you have the tournament. That's not a problem. Is what I'm understanding. Okay. And then.
Have any questions? Oh, non-profit is it's not a. I mean, you're not taking any non-profit 501c3 for the cost of the facility.
No.
Because we're not, the use of the facility is not a huge cost for you. The costs are the hard costs of paying the staff, and that's not a 501c3 issue. We have to pay them regardless of who the...
So the use of the facility is part of it.
So you're asking for a waiver of the fee, which could only be done by the...
If you have the 501c3, you submitted the papers that you're a non-profit organization, you can be, you know...
You mean for the facility rental fee?
For the rental fee of the park, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't currently have any non-profit policy that would waive costs for facility.
Right.
They want you to
Because
you're
most
a non-profit, it should be automatically given. You're a non-profit, you don't pay for...
I can't argue that, Maria, but I know the city of Compton, we currently don't have a non-profit facility waivable policy within any department.
Now, we have on facility leasing, there's, the council will on an individual basis consider a nonprofit status when it decides whether to give you, the virtually no rent or reduced rent arrangement. But they've been pretty firm that when there are hard costs involved, and when we're actually having to pay staff because people are having to come in on overtime or whatever, if we're having to write a check to pay staff who would not normally have been there or whatever, then we have to pass that cost on.
I would suggest the next activity be on a Saturday between the hours that we're open. That way you'll have no discussion.
Because then we have staff there.
Right.
Okay.
Planning did that, and that was more so for businesses that had actually go down to business license. But
I asked them what I need, and they said, this is what you guys need.
yeah, and
They didn't give me any.
that's why I asked. I'll speak with the assistant city manager. We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Excuse me.
The original special events, the new one that was developed, like I said, back in 07, 08, and revised once or twice.
That one.
It supersedes that, and each department, along with planning, recreation, everybody, there's a spot on there for them to sign.
They will eliminate all this.
It would, because like I said, that's why I said I haven't seen it. That's why I asked about it, because normally it would come across my desk.
The soccer, okay. Awards, yes. And right, the awards meaning, right after that we give you the presentation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Vendors, I will look at my application and I will see if I can just get those who are providing something for the community for free, no charge, nothing. Just set up their own table with tablecloth and chairs, and that's it. And maybe five of those vendors. If we're gonna accelerate this, health department is gonna cost me an extra $50. So, if I want to have another vendor, they're gonna have to pay $160 plus the $50. So that's what I'm saying, only one.
All right, that's your call.
So only one vendor, and the DJ, and what was the number six? Access to the restrooms. Yes. Use of the inside building. We will be using the building inside, right?
Just the restroom.
Just the restroom.
Let me recap this for you too. I know we all got some things to do. We can make this very simple. Very simple. The first thing we need to do is revise your permit application. Let's take off Mexican Independence Program and let's just put soccer championships. Because now you keep it within the Parks and Recreation Program. So let's do that. You can still have your amplified sound as long as you go to the clerk's office and get your application. You can still have your food. You can still have your vendor booths. But let's keep it as a youth soccer championship activity.
On paper, legitimately on paper. Now, how you advertise it?
That's my question.
That's what it is. That's
For our sake,
because we already advertise it as such.
You guys can.
Right.
You can still do that. Okay.
That's no problem. We just have some factors that keep driving up the cost. And those are the things we want to make sure that we control. The numbers, control them on the staff. 500 people, 1,000 people, that controls the amount of staff. And that's out of our control. Once we put those numbers on paper, then we have to make sure we follow our process to make sure that we're not having or promoting activities that create some safety hazard for people to show. So, if we keep it under youth soccer championships for that day, go to the clerk's office, the amplified music, we can control the vendors that they bring their own equipment. We got to revise the plot plan. We have to make sure we get our business license and our health department license. Staff it. We can have one staff there. That's not something we will probably promote with that many people. We can have one staff there to open the building, make sure that they're there all day. They're not taking a lunch break. They're not going to leave you in the middle of your event and close out a facility. And even on Sunday, I'll drop through Dr. P and just check on them, stay a few hours. And that way, if they do have to go to some lunch, at least the building will remain open.
Also the president of the league, she has ¿cuántos gente tiene que limpiar? Four people who's after the game.
Pick up trash. Okay.
Make sure that we've been doing that.
That would help. Okay. And what I'll do though, we'll make sure one of our parks employees is there. That way if a sprinkler break or trash needs to be picked up or grass needs to be mowed, whatever, they'll be there serving as a staff. That way they can address any of those issues dealing with the field maintenance. And then myself, Dr. Penn will drop through, check on things. But we're just trying to make sure that
what you want, money.
Goddamn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now you just wet and soft. First you was down with the AK, and now I see you on a video with Mission Lake, looking like straight bozos. I saw it coming, that's why I went solo and kept on stomping. While y'all motherfuckers moved straight out of Compton, living with the whites, one big house, and not another
3, 2, 1, and we're back. And now, P to the PSA. Okay, on Saturday, September 20th, 2014, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., there will be a meeting at the Villareal McDonald Park, which is located at 2516 West Alondra Boulevard in Compton, California, 90220. It will talk about the subject of federal mandatory sentence forum. Basically, what that means is that, I guess the prison industrial complex is losing money, so therefore they're trying to make people do all of their time. So if you get caught for jaywalking and so forth, you will do 2 years wino time straight. So therefore, the thing to do is to make sure that you can get there by actually signing a petition. They're going to have petitions for that out there. And also, you can get information from their phone number at 310-805, I think that's what it is. Nope, not at 605-6793 is a voicemail, so leave a message there. Again, it's 310-605-6793. And this will be the Federal Mandatory Sentence Forum coming up next Saturday at September 20th. 12 o'clock p.m. to 2 p.m. at Villareal McDonald Park, 2516, that's 2516 West Alondra Boulevard, Compton, California, 90220. Please go, because it does affect maybe somebody that you know that's already being locked down for seditious reasons, or maybe they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. What have you got there for us?
Okay. In regards to KTNG, KTNG 860 AM. La estación de radios es una estación de radio sin fines lucrativos. Ok. Le pedimos a usted que patrocine usted su pequeño comercio en el aire, en nuestro radio, en nuestra estación de radio. Ok, se le dará 8 horas de tráfico en la radiodifusora, 5 días a la semana, 24 horas al día. Es deducible de sus impuestos. Es lo que le va a ayudar. Ok, se transmite sus promociones a diario, semanal o mensualmente por medio de nosotros, KTNG 860 AM.org. Nosotros grabamos y producimos sus especiales rápidamente, lo más pronto posible. Son $150 por 3 meses con opción de renovación. Si usted está satisfecho a los 3 meses, usted puede renovar. Esa es la opción que usted tiene. Hágase miembro de la Cámara de Comercio Latino de Compton, que la señora María Villareal es la presidenta, y reciba usted $30 de descuento. Use el código promocional LCCC1. Lo repito, LCCC1. Por medio de nuestra red social KTNG860am.org. Y promueve usted por medio de un presupuesto. Además, ¿es usted un comercial pequeño? Por favor, comuníquese con nosotros y el espacio está limitado. Por favor, llame hoy. Necesitamos su apoyo. Y nadie va a hacer nada por nosotros más que nosotros mismos. Ustedes, los comerciantes, tienen la fuerza, tienen la voz. Si hay alguna pregunta o alguna inquietud, por favor, llámenme a mí al 323-264-1581. Por favor. Gracias. And what's the business number, por favor?
213-222-222-56
36. Este es el número de teléfono de nuestra oficina. So, ahí tienen ustedes. Ok, muy bien. Y gracias. Ahora le paso esto para que el compañero les diga en inglés. Habla inglés, por favor. The honors?
Sure thing. Get sponsored airtime for your small business. 8 hours of high traffic, 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's a complete tax write-off. Air your daily, weekly, monthly promos through us. We record and produce your specials on the fly. $150 for 3 months with a renew option. Become a Latino Chamber of Commerce, a Compton member, and receive a $30 discount. Use promo code LCCC1 through our website, and that is KTNG860am.org. Again, that's KTNG860am.org. Promote on a budget. You know, if you're a small business, we can do this for you. Space is limited. Call now. And for everybody and so forth, because we got to wrap this up, for anybody that wants to be a volunteer reporter or wish to volunteer for the station and so forth, we really could use a few arms and legs out there and a few eyes, ears, and voices. So we do need your support. As a matter of fact, the best way to do that is to get in contact with our news director, Señor Tacos con mucho chile.
Ahora sí les voy a decir una cosa. Estamos buscando a nosotros alguien que quiera ejercer algún como reportero. No necesita que sea profesional. Reportero tiene algo de noticias para nosotros. En el futuro vamos a tener clases de periodismo y cómo escribir noticias en el futuro, y también comuníquense con nosotros también. By the way, who's the president of the Latino Chamber of Commerce?
María Villareal.
Gracias. Y muchas gracias. En el futuro espero más adelante hacerlo bilingüe, tener más programación en español. Ok, gracias, y que nos sintonicen con nosotros más adelante y que nos sigan escuchando. Y llámenme ustedes si tienen alguna inquietud o alguna pregunta. Gracias, que pasen buenas noches. My brother, take it away.
Alrighty. So there you have it, people. Basically, we do have for the school system, the Compton Unified School System, if there are teachers or students that are interested, we do have an apprenticeship program, 8 weeks. Therefore, you can learn all the basics of broadcast journalism, running a media center, and not only that, making sure that your apprentice carries your career into a new middle class, which is definitely Compton. It could be the next Hollywood if you choose to be. However, it's up to you. So for that, you definitely have to call the office number and let us know your name and a phone number, so that way we can call you back. We usually try and call back people within 24-hour period because the lines stay busy, or facsimile thereof. Anyway, pretty much that's all we got. I mean, anything else? Yeah, of course there is.
Nadie va a hacer nada por nosotros más que nosotros mismos. Nobody's going to do anything for us except ourselves. So we have to be as one and let the world know.
That's right. And we're going to let the world know that since we are the only black and brown radio station doing this for Compton, doing this for South LA, it is time for us to make our move.
Organize, organize, organize. Organícense, organícense, organícense.
That's right, baby. Lead, fight, follow, or get the hell out of our way, because we're coming through, baby. We're coming through.
Muévanse, cabrones.
And that's it. We're out.
You've just listened to the Compton Weekly editorial of community news from your station KTNG860 AM, the American militant on the digital dial. This is a public-supported sponsorship, and we encourage our listener supporters to stop by our Facebook page or website and leave us a message or a much-needed donation. We have to do for ourselves, and to keep real public radio alive and accessible for all helps develop accredited programs of apprenticeship in the media arts. Teaching a career skill set that isn't entertainment requires the full support of the community, so please make a kind donation. Thank you for listening and enjoy your day. This is KTNG 860 AM. And nah, we didn't do that. That wasn't us.
In fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies present. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally, concerning my own personal position.